Madison, congratulations. What tournament?
Thanks. I'm, really happy to have, gotten this far in a tournament, and it's my first one, and I'm just looking forward to having more and, hopefully have a couple where I'm with the trophy at the end of the week.
So how do you feel you handled the moment in terms of your nerves, your tactics, everything else?
I think I handled the moment pretty well. I definitely had a good start, so nerves didn't totally play into that, and I thought I handled myself pretty well in that last serving game of mine. But, she played really well. She served really well. It was pretty much impossible for me to break her serve, so, great job to her today.
How's the leg? How's the adductor?
It's okay. It's not perfect, but I had plenty of tape on it. I had plenty of medication, so did my best.
Didn't affect you at all?
I'm not going to sit up here and make excuses for today, so, it was what it was. I did my best, and she played really well, and all credit to her.
Pre-match, you said that you wanted to focus on what you could do and not worry so much about her. Were you happy that you were able to do that?
Yeah, I was. I think in that situation, you can almost get overwhelmed if you start focusing on, Serena being on the other side of the court. So, I really just try to focus on myself and play within myself, and I thought I did a pretty good job.
You mentioned the serve, but what's the quality of her ball like? What's it feel like to play against her compared to other players?
She has, her ball's not like anyone else's. It comes hard, it comes deep. You never really have you never have the feeling of I can control every ball that comes towards me. So she's definitely one of the very few who can hit like that.
Were you surprised or pleased with how your game stacked up against her? When you were seeing, you looked like you had control in a lot of those rallies, hitting a heavy ball. Were you surprised that she was maybe struggling a little bit handling your pace?
Yeah, I was. I thought there was definitely a lot of points where I was controlling the point and was getting ahead in the point and was staying in longer rallies and things like that. So that's definitely something I'm happy about, and that's something that I'm going to keep working on.
There have been a bunch of stats that have sort of surfaced this week about you having higher average ground stroke speeds than anybody on the women's or men's tour right now. Do you feel like you can out-hit anybody at all times?
I don't really think about it, honestly. I kind of just go out and hit the ball. So the fact that it's coming off my racket that hard is nice. But I had that stat at the French Open and I lost first round, so it doesn't really say much.
And Madison, people are wondering after this incredible run just how far you can go in this game. In your mind now, what do you think? How far do you think you can go in the game? What level?
Well, I think this week has definitely, more shown to me more than anyone else that, I can play the top players and I can do well against them, and I can play, I can play the number one player in the world in a pretty close match. So I think for me that's inspiration for every time I'm on a practice court to just keep working and keep getting better so I can have more and more weeks like this.
And in terms of this incredible run, what do you think pleased you the most inside yourself? What pleased you?
I think just handling the moment is probably what I'm most happy about. I think at times it got a little overwhelming, and the fact that I was able to, manage and do so well and able to get through that is what I'm most happy about.
Serena spent a couple of moments on the net having a bit of a chat to you when you were going up. Anything in particular she said to you?
Just great fight, great match, good luck, and, I said the same. Good luck for next round, and that was pretty much it.
Can I ask you a stupid question?
Sure.
Maybe.
Why are you a good tennis player?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's, for me, it's just been, I try to work as hard as I possibly can. And for me, even this week, as great as it is, I still want more, and I think I will forever be that way. So I think for me, it's just never being satisfied with what I've done and always just wanting more and more.
Madison, you're going to have your highest ever ranking, number 20. You're going to just have this great run coming off. So how do you sustain this and try to avoid what might be an easy letdown that could come, after all the excitement this week to keep going the rest of the calendar?
I think it's just doing what I was doing all off season, putting in the hours, doing my best on the practice court, staying in shape, and that's really all that I can ask for myself to do.
Maria Sharapova said earlier that after playing you last year, she wasn't surprised by the progress you've made throughout this tournament. Are you surprised in yourself? Could you have expected to be where you are now a fortnight ago?
I think it's one of those things where I've wanted it, and it's one of those things that, those mornings that you don't want to get out of bed. These are those moments that, make yourself get up and, go to practice and do things like that. So I've definitely put in the work, and I'm just really happy to see that it's paying off. Did I think it was going to happen here? Not particularly, but I'm very happy that it did.
The other day you said that your sisters do a really good job on keeping you humble. What do you think they'll do now to keep you humble?
Well, my sister actually sent me a really nice message. She actually watched my match. So, but, other than that, I have amazing sisters. They're always there to either bring me up or put me back down on the ground. So, they just treat me like I'm their older sister. They don't treat me any other way, and I don't expect them to.
You're now 20th ranked Madison Keys Grand Slam semi-finalist, though. You're a marked woman now. Everybody's going to see you coming. How do you feel about that? You're no longer the underdog.
It's one of those things where it eventually in your career, it kind of switches from being the young up-and-comer to someone who has had results and who, the other person is kind of trying to raise their level to play. So, I think it's a privilege, and I'm just going to do my best to try to stay here.
Madison, people often talk about the intensity that both Maria and Serena play with. Is there any way for you to compare the two now that you've faced both of them?
I think it's very similar. They're both very intense players, and I think that intensity when they play each other gets even higher. So I think the final on Saturday will be very entertaining. But they're just both such competitors, and they're hands down two of the biggest fighters that we have right now.
Madison, you've been pretty quiet on Twitter while you've been in Melbourne. So, what's the emoji to sum up your 2 weeks here?
I think pretty much just a smiley face. Can't go wrong with a plain old smiley face.
Going with the classic.
Going with the classic, yeah.
There's benefits of making it a semi-final. You're going to go out and do any shopping now that you've got a little bit extra there?
600.
I think a lot of it's just going to go in my bank account. I came here and I told myself that I'll buy myself one nice thing, and I'm kind of sticking to that.
Anything in particular you're going to buy?
We'll see. I haven't quite decided yet.
Well, there hasn't been a Lindsay question yet, but could you have done all this without her?
You mean there hasn't been a Lindsay question today? Okay. No, she's amazing. She's really helped me, and she's part of the reason why I've been so quiet on Twitter. It was her saying, it's very easy to get sidetracked and get caught up in everything, so having her to help me through this has been amazing.
Madison, the second serve today is pretty critical, it turns out, I think, in the match. Did you hit your second serve well, you think? Or could you do it better? And how do you feel about the way Serena handled it today compared to other players?
I think I could have hit it better, but I also don't think I hit it badly. She does an amazing job at attacking slower serves, and I really wasn't even hitting that slow of a serve, but she was taking advantage of it, and it's one of those things where I'm going to have to go back and just try to get it better so that in those circumstances, it doesn't happen so much again.
And talk about that last service game that just went on and on for 11 minutes, and you're way down, but you kept on fighting and saved all those match points. What was going through your mind, and what are your thoughts about that?
Anytime I had a second serve on her match point, it was really just don't double fault. And luckily I didn't. And then, it was just, try to get this game, try to keep fighting and try to stay in the match. And I managed to, and then she just played too good of a game the next game.
And Fed Cup, chance to really pick the brains of people like Serena. She said she'd like you to play some of her games for her if you could, but really chance to spend some time with someone like that and get some advice.
Yeah, anytime I can spend time around Venus and Serena, it's always a privilege, and, obviously I can learn a lot from them.
Are you planning on playing Fed Cup with the adductor issues, or?
We'll see. I kind of have to see how quickly I can recover from this, so still kind of up in the air about it.